Hello everyone. Now I am going to start our today's session with a new topic. Okay. So let's move to our new session. Okay. With a new topic. Today's our topic is Prime Minister of India. Okay students. I have covered President and Vice President because you have done the lectures of President and Vice President. So this will look so simple that even a single point will not going to miss in this session if you really attentive towards my lecture. Okay. If you say that sir, you say this line in each and every session, but listen students, if you will attempt the previous lectures with more and more attention, then the upcoming lectures will automatically going to be a more comfortable feeling for all of you, because I am doing in a serial wise of polity session, so that first of all you will get the tough of the part of polity. After that you will able to climb up the steps of the polity classes, so that one profit is you will again look up forward for the easy one after covering up the tough ones. Another thing is that if you get the tough ones chapters, then you will easily feel really comfortable and get motivated. Okay. A self confidence will also be built up in all of you. So let's start today's session, and we are moving in our next slide. See, I hope all of you already know about it, that he is the real authority, real head of the government, okay. Real head of the state too, nominal head of the state, who is its president. I have repeated it so many times that I hope I don't need to repeat the same line. So see, he is the real head executive authority. Right now I am dealing with executive union at the union level, that is article 52 to 78. Article 52 to 78, okay, that comes in which part of the Constitution of India? That comes in part 5th of the Constitution of India. Okay, so that is 50 to 78 article number. Okay, I have covered okay till vice president. Now I am going with this one. See, he is the real head executive authority, and nominal head executive authority is who? President. So the real head executive authority is Prime Minister of India. So I am moving to the next slide, and I will complete this session with such a simple steps. Okay, see, Article 75 deals about who can appoint the Prime Minister of India. So be attentive towards this sentence. Article 75 only says, always, if you are a real UPSC aspirant, then you should definitely focus on the points that only, not, okay, even also. These are the points where students normally skip up these parts, and in examination hall even they have revised the whole things, but they missed almost 4 to 5 marks, okay, only because of it. So listen, Article 75 only says that PM shall be appointed by the President. If you listen carefully, then suppose this only word, the word that only mentions, if that will be erased, then how we will read it? That Article 75 says that PM shall be appointed by the President. Okay. So what is the difference in that? If only is not available at that position, so what is the difference? The difference is that, a student, that I am going to clarify your doubts. Okay. See. Okay. See students, in the Constitution of India, there is no procedure mentions that President appoint the Prime Minister. Okay, who will be appointed as the Prime Minister? In the Constitution, nowhere mentioned. This is really surprising. I think most of the students who don't prepare earlier about UPSC or even self-study, okay, they even don't know that even in the Constitution of India, there is no provision mentioned that President will appoint which person as the Prime Minister of India. There is no provision mentioned in the Constitution of India. Nothing. Okay. The only provision is that President will appoint the Prime Minister of India, that is mentioned in Article 75. Okay. So, what is the traditional form that is going in this democratic country is that, see, if in 2024 general election, in 2024 a general election will be held, all of you know. So if in 2024 general election, suppose a party that named A, I will not take any name of any kind of party, okay, so let's deal with it. Suppose a party that is named as A and another party that is named as B and another is C, and I think the whole one party that can't be mentioned here. So normally just understand it what I am trying to say. See, all of you know that the majority mark of Lok Sabha is 273. Have you got it? That is 272 plus. 272 plus. So if any party reach the majority mark, that is 273, he will form the government. But where it is mentioned that if any party will win the 273 seats in general election, then he will form the government. Where it is mentioned? Nowhere it is mentioned in the Constitution of India. Nothing, not at all. If you are surprised with this sentence, then be surprised, but this is true. Okay, you have to adopt right now because you are preparing for such an examination that is totally conceptual one. So listen, if party A got 278 seats, suppose, okay, and he is got 58 and this one, okay, it's maybe 69 or even difference, but I want to say that party A has crossed the more than 50% of seats in the Lok Sabha. So 278 MPs of party A has won the election in 2024 general election. Then now there is the role of president appears here. See, what president do is that president will look after the result of election that which party is appearing, just listen my words, which party it seems to be appear to prove the majority line. Either anyone has got the majority line, that A got, yes, if he got, then president automatically knows that only this party, party A, if this party forms the government, then this government will be stable. You means I want to say that there is a really less probability that the government of this party will fall before 5 years. A rare chance that may be possible, but chance is negligible. Okay, if suppose since there is no provision, okay, for the choosing of prime minister by the president, since if president wants, then he can appoint even any leader to form the government. Yes, this is right. Okay, but why generally president do not do it because this is against the public opinion. All of you know India is a democratic country. Universal adult franchise, you know. I will cover all these aspects. Universal adult franchise means each person has the right to vote that cross the barrier marks of age of 18 years. Okay. So, see, if president will invite party number B to form the government, then since 273 seats is the majority marks and 58 seats this party has right now, then this government will automatically fall when the Parliament of India is going to prove the majority within 1 month. Okay, definitely this government will fall. Okay, if let's understand the point. Even if this party goes 270 seats, okay, if this is really a blussy one, then I am erasing it. Okay, so instead of writing, I will try to clear your doubts orally. Okay, so that you will be more attentive towards our lecture too. So now I am doing all this orally. Why? You know, because students, see, I have told you that hear my words and all the sentences carefully. Listen. If party A goes 270 seats, okay, 2 less than or 3 less than the majority marks, then president will do what? If it is necessary to write some. So if party A got 270 and okay, and if party B plus party C and party D plus E and so on, together they are getting the cross marks of 272 plus. It is 272 plus. Okay, and if this party is fallen just 2 votes, just 2 seats of MPs to form the government, means 3 seats, 272 plus. So president will see that which party can give a stable government in the whole country for a long term, for a term that can complete for 5 years, their tenure. So what the president will do is that he will take his own discretion. Discretion means according to what his mind says. Okay, discretion means what I want I will do, but on the basis of what that will suit in the country, what will be suitable for the people of India. Okay, the mandate of the people. Okay, so the president will definitely see that if this party will arrange only 3 seats, then definitely this party will give a stable government. Otherwise, if this party will form the government, then it is more probability that if any party pulls down his support from this coalition, coalition means if more than one party jointly form the government, then that is known as coalition. Okay, so if any of the party has taken and pulls down his support from this coalition, then government will fall apart definitely. That is why it is generally said that President of India invites the single largest party to form the government. Even if any party, even if any party got 180 seats, 170 seats, and he is the largest party in the election, so definitely president will call that party that, it is appeared and eyes can see that, it is visualized that you can form a government by some kind of coalition. Otherwise, other party than you have secured less number of seats. So, you are more probability, it is more chance that you will provide a stable government. Okay. I hope this is clear to all of you, that there is no provision in the constitution that president will appoint which person as the prime minister. It is only on his own discretion. Okay. So now move to the next slide. I hope this is clear to all of you. So I am moving to the next slide, please. This is about powers and functions of the Prime Minister of India. Okay. Another thing is that, see, if any party forms the government, then what happens that, see, let's be attentive, because it is common, but it may possible that many of you know about it, but many of you know also don't know about it properly. So listen it. It is mandatory that who can become Prime Minister of India? See, who can become Prime Minister of India? Which person will be appointed as Prime Minister of India? That is a separate one. That is on the discretion of President. But what is the eligibility criteria from among which of the persons President can elect? Okay, President cannot elect picking up any person from the country and appoint as Prime Minister. That can't be happen. Some criteria and eligibility should be fulfilled to become the Prime Minister of India. Only then President can appoint you as the Prime Minister. Are you getting me? So, it is mandatory to be a MP. MP means Member of Parliament. Even if a Member of Parliament of Rajya Sabha, then you are eligible to become a Prime Minister of India. If you are a member of Lok Sabha, if you have gone through election, you win the election, then you will go to the Lok Sabha, then you will automatically be eligible to become a Prime Minister. But if you are not going to contest the election of Lok Sabha, general election, and if you are in the house of upper house, that is Rajya Sabha, if you are an MP in Rajya Sabha, then you are an eligible person to become a Prime Minister of India. The best example is that Manmohan Singh. Manmohan Singh is not the MP of Lok Sabha, he is the MP of Rajya Sabha. Okay, so some kind of criteria is applicable to become the Prime Minister of India. If he is an MP, he is definitely fulfilling the criteria of age too. Okay, age limit. Fine, citizen of India should be. So these are the common ones. Okay, but the most important thing is he should be an MP. If suppose, if let's see it clearly, if a party A has got 300 seats or any number of seats, I am just giving an example. Okay, and till now after winning the election there is no candidate for Prime Minister, a focal candidate of Prime Minister. Okay, focal means on the nucleus, on the center point. So it is nowhere appearing that who will become the Prime Minister. So all the MPs of party A will decide their leader. This is the process in India. Okay, this is the process in India follows. The people of India elects their representatives, that is Member of Parliament, in general election, and those MPs jointly choose their leader. Jointly choose their leader, and that leader generally become the Prime Minister of India. Is it right or not? Have you even think about it? You already know, you maybe know that these are the processes, that if this party wins, this will be the Prime Minister. So what is the process? Okay, what is the real process? Okay, so suppose if any Prime Minister resigns from his office, so the party is in majority, but if only Prime Minister is resigning from his office due to certain reasons, then all the MPs will sit together in a meeting and they will decide their leader, and that leader will become the Prime Minister of India. I hope this is fine to all of you. Okay, is it? That's fine, students. So, if a party A got 300 seats in Lok Sabha election, general election, and this candidate has been selected as the leader of this party by all MPs. So, this will be the Prime Minister of India. If this leader has also won the election of Lok Sabha, then automatically in these 300 seats this person will also be included automatically, na? Fine. If you want to be the monitor of the class, then you must present in the class, you should be a part of that class, you should study in that class, only after that you will become the monitor of that class. In the simple language I am telling you. So, if a party A wins 300 seats and they chose their leaders, this person, any person, they choose their leader, so it is possible not that this leader is present from this 300. So, this criteria is fulfilling or not, that this person is also become an MP. Okay, because these 300 candidates are an MPs after winning the election. So, this leader is also an MP. So, this has fulfilled the criteria. If students, if be attentive, if the MPs that has won the election from the party has decided that nobody is eligible, that kind of eligibility criteria fulfilling to become the Prime Minister of India, so we should look another person who can become the Prime Minister of India. Okay, or even it is possible that the leader, so suppose I am giving a hypothetical example, you will easily get it. Suppose our respective Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi has won the election in 2014 and 19 too. So, he has won the election from where? Varanasi. Okay. So, he contested election from Varanasi. After contesting the election, he won the election. So, automatically he become a member of parliament. So, after that all the leaders of NDA party, means BJP, plus other parties that form the NDA, National Democratic Alliance. So, all the leaders of NDA, all the MPs of India, not the leaders. So, all the MPs of NDA decided that Mr. Narendra Modi should be the Prime Minister of India. Okay. So, since Modi has won the election from Varanasi, so he is automatically an MP of Lok Sabha. So, he is fulfilling the criteria to become the Prime Minister. Okay. Suppose a hypothetical example that BJP was contesting the election in 2014, a hypothetical example, and Mr. Narendra Modi is not contesting the election in that general election. If at that time he was not contesting the election from anywhere in India, okay, and even if BJP won in that election with majority marks, then is it possible that Narendra Modi became the Prime Minister of India or not? Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. How? See, after winning the majority marks, these parties MPs can even choose a person that is not present from this MPs list. Okay. So, what? So, he can even appoint a person as their leader to become Prime Minister who is not contesting the election and who is currently not a member of parliament. He can become a Prime Minister. If he is not a member of parliament, even he can become the Prime Minister. Okay. But after becoming Prime Minister and forming the government, within 6 months from that period, within 6 months, he has to become an MP either of Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. Okay. He has to become an MP either of Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. Fine. So, after any person that become the Prime Minister of India, that can automatically wins from anywhere in the country. Okay, that is too easy to get it. Okay, so it is a way. Another thing is that what president do that if this party A has crossed 272 plus seats, then automatically president know that this party is going to prove the majority lines in Lok Sabha, because that is the election commission result. Okay, not a paper and media house result. Okay, so that is election commission result, that is a constitutional body. So if election commission data shows that this party has cleared the majority marks, then automatically that party is going to prove the majority in Lok Sabha whenever needed. But if suppose that instead of this 300 seats, if he is got 250 seats and this party is taking the support of another party or other two parties, then what president will do that president will appoint this leader as prime minister. Whoever these MPs choose their leader, whoever these MPs choose their leader as prime minister, the president will appoint that leader as prime minister. After that, if he is not an MP, he should become an MP after become prime minister within 6 months. But another extra thing is that president will provide and give 1 month time to prove the majority in Lok Sabha. If a party A that has got 250 seats, okay, and president knows, this party says that I have the support of other parties too, so I will definitely form the government, we are going to form the government, please allow us to form the government and appoint as prime minister to our candidate. So what president will do that? President will appoint this leader as the prime minister of India and give him the time of 1 month, that see, you have 250 MPs and you have earlier told that you will prove the majority because you have the support of other parties. Okay, so I am giving you 1 month time. President saying that I am giving you, president saying to whom? Mr. Prime Minister, that let's see, since you have only 250 seats in Lok Sabha elections and you have earlier said that when I was appointing you and you have met me earlier, you told that I have the support of other parties too, so I am giving you 1 month time to prove the majority in Lok Sabha. So you have to prove the majority of 272 plus seats in Lok Sabha within 1 month. Within 1 month, okay, that is 6 months to become an MP if he is not an MP. Okay, and 1 month to prove the majority if he has not crossed the majority 272 plus seats originally when the result came. I hope all of you get it. So now I am talking about powers and functions of the government, means the real head of the government, that is prime minister. Okay, so I hope I am really trying to understand you all the things. See, Prime Minister of India is such a huge post that no post of India is going to compare it. Okay, in reality, in practicality. That is why the post of Prime Minister is so important in our nation. See, Prime Minister has different kind of powers and functions. Okay, so I will move to the next slide so that I can divide the powers in some forms. So please move to the next slide. Okay, fine. So I am moving to the next slide right now. Next slide please. See, power of Prime Minister in relation to Council of Ministers. During President I have also told it, I am just repeating it again. I will not going to waste the time by repeating the same things again and again in each and every lecture. Okay, so see, any party cross the majority marks, form the government, Prime Minister appointed by President. Okay, so Prime Minister will form a cabinet ministers and ministers, Council of Ministers. There is a huge number of Council of Ministers, okay, in which there are different kinds of departments of ministers. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 anyone. Okay, so if these are the ministers, so who will appoint these ministers? Appointment, I am not talking about who has the power to pick up that person to become as minister. No, that power is with prime minister. Only those member can become minister who have the support of prime minister. If prime minister wants to fulfill the criteria of minister for this candidate, then he can become, but appointment will be done by President of India. Okay, what prime minister do is he forms a council of ministers and he pick up the candidates and put inside that councils, and that councils form the councils of ministers. So it is the choice of prime minister that whom the prime minister wants to elect as ministers under the council of ministers. So prime minister will tell the president that, see, I have selected these persons, so please appoint these persons as ministers, councils of ministers. See, president will always work on the aid and advice of the prime minister. Keep this line in your mind every time. President of India will never work on his own discretion in certain exception case only. Otherwise, President of India generally work on the aid and advice of Prime Minister. Okay. So, what is the power of Prime Minister in relation to Council of Ministers? Whomever persons Prime Minister wants to become the Council of Minister, he will appoint. Okay, he will appoint. He will choose and appointed by President. Okay. Second thing is that he will be the chairman of most of the committees that form inside the Council of Ministers. Not only that, if President wants, if President wants that this person should not be in the Council of Ministers, then President can't do anything. Only if Prime Minister wants that this person number 5 should be removed from the Council of Ministers because he is not working according to him or even other issues. So Prime Minister will tell to President that, look, please remove this person number 5 from the Council of Ministers. So President will definitely remove it. It is not the power of President that Prime Minister will say that remove this person from the Council of Ministers and President will not remove. This is not the power of President. President will always remove that person. President will always work on the aid and advice of Prime Minister. So I hope this is clear to all of you, that whatever the working going inside the Council of Ministers, all will be chaired by the Prime Ministers. Okay. And in that scenario, President will do and follow the work only on the aid and advice of Prime Minister. Okay. So I am moving to the next slide that is going to really help you. Okay, students. I hope this is clear to all of you. So next slide, please. In relation to President, okay, I have already told you that on the aid and advice of Prime Minister, President will work. Fine. See, there is the sessions of Parliament. Okay, there are the sessions of Parliament where President has the right to start the session, to end the session, okay, to bring ordinances whenever session is not in the running way. So all will be done in the name of President, but only on the advice of Prime Minister. So Prime Minister will say to the President that, see, please start the monsoon session of Parliament from this date, okay, this date and finish this date. So definitely President will follow it. Okay. So moving to the next slide. I hope this is clear to all of you. Is it? So move to the next slide. These are the so simple ones. Okay. So on the next slide, please. In relation to Parliament, I have told you right now that Prime Minister, see one point, that Prime Minister of India can sit in Lok Sabha too, and if he wants, for any reason, he can even sit in Rajya Sabha too. He can attend the session of Lok Sabha too, because he is a prime minister and even he can attend the session of Rajya Sabha too. It is possible that even a Rajya Sabha MP can become a prime minister. Manmohan Singh is the example, okay, in recent past. So only become MP. If you are MP of Rajya Sabha, you can become the prime minister, but that matter is separate. If you become the prime minister, you have the right, okay, to sit in the Lok Sabha sessions and in the session of Rajya Sabha too. It is upon your desire. Okay, and each and everything that the decision, see, all the decisions that has been taken during the meeting of cabinet committees or during the meetings of council of ministers, then that decision has to be informed to the president. It is necessary. I have told you in the lectures of president, so I am just repeating it. So moving to the next slide. Okay, our next slide will be about something else. So moving to the next one. This is, now I think this session is over. So I will attend today the questions of previous lectures, that is Vice President of India. See, if anything has been left in Prime Minister, then you will easily get yourself. Okay, that is too easy. If you have read carefully about the President and Vice President, this lecture is too easy. Just something, remember the fact. Okay, in one case, see, after the death of Indira Gandhi, our respective Prime Minister, Mrs. Indira Gandhi, after her death, what happened that Mr. Jail Singh was the President of India at that time. So since Indira Gandhi was died, so Mr. Jail Singh has appointed Rajiv Gandhi as the Prime Minister of India and told Rajiv Gandhi that prove your majority marks within 1 month. Okay, and you have to become a member of parliament within 6 months. So these are the examples through which you can easily remember every point. Even something is left in Prime Minister's chapters, I will cover in that questions. Okay. So the first question of the last session is, these all questions are about previous lecture, that is Vice President of India. So the first question is, who cannot participate in election of Vice President? Of course, we are dealing with that session. So who cannot take, see, I have already told you that please focus on keywords, not, only, also, to, please careful about that. So who can participate in election of Vice President? It is not saying the question, who cannot take. So option A, MP of Lok Sabha. Can a MP of Lok Sabha become Vice President? This question is not saying. It is saying that, just see, you can participate in the election of MP, MLA. You are participating now if you are crossing the barrier limit of 18 years of age. So that the question is, who cannot participate. So can a member of parliament of Lok Sabha, can participate in the vote of Vice President? Is it? Okay. Second option is, MP of Rajya Sabha can participate in election of Vice President. So yes, this will participate, this will also participate. Even nominated members of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, since there are no nominated members in Lok Sabha, that provision has been finished. So even nominated members of Rajya Sabha, 12 nominated members of Rajya Sabha will also participate in the election of Vice President of India. MLA of Legislative Assembly, not. MLAs of Legislative Assembly can't participate in election of Vice President. MLAs will participate in the election of President, not in the Vice President. None of the above. Okay. So automatically this statement is correct. So your correct answer will be option C. So next question I am moving. Okay. I hope all of you have solved the questions. Many students are really confused in some questions, and our team has really helped you and assist all of them to solve their queries and problems. Second question is that motion for removing of Vice President can be initiated from. If you want to remove the President from his office, then from which House of Parliament or from where anyone can move the motion. Anyone means member of that house. So can that motion be initiated from Lok Sabha? Not. Only in Rajya Sabha. For president, you can initiate it from anywhere. But for if you want to remove vice president, for removing a president, it is a process of impeachment. But for removing a vice president, there is no process of impeachment. That's a simple kind of motion moved on. Okay. So that motion can be moved only Rajya Sabha, not both, and we automatically, if A will not, then this will automatically done. By president, not at all. So moving to the next slide, please. I hope this is clear to all of you. Okay. Next one is that concept of office of vice president has been taken from which of the country? Have you remembered it? That is USA. That is USA. So next question. This is easy one actually, if you remember the fact. Vice president will submit his resignation to. I am repeating again. If president wants to resign from his office, then he will submit his resignation to vice president. And if vice president wants to resign from his office, then he has to submit his resignation to president. So these are the vice versa. So definitely answer will be President of India. Okay. So next question please. Which condition is not required to become vice president of India? Which of the criteria, which of the conditions, which criteria is not required? Not required. Here not question that which criteria should be fulfilled to become the vice president of India. Here it is, which criteria, which condition is not required. Okay, not required to become president of India. So at least if you want to become vice president, you have to become at least 35 years of age. Should a member of Rajya Sabha, this is also true. Should be qualified to become a member of Rajya Sabha. This is also true. Okay, this is not true at all. This is not true at all. Why? Because I already told you that it is not necessary. Okay, which condition is not required? Which of the following condition is actually not required to become? So these conditions are not required because vice president is the chairman of Rajya Sabha. Okay, and that vice president is not a part of member of Rajya Sabha. So this is incorrect. So answer B will be correct. Okay. Only you need to be eligible to qualify as MP of Rajya Sabha, not need to be a member of Rajya Sabha. Go to my lecture of vice president. Okay. So I hope all things have. Any other slide remaining? Just see if any other slide remaining. No. So I hope all the topics are covered too. Okay. So thank you students. We will meet tomorrow again with a new topic. Okay. Thank you students. Thank you so much.